So this whole nonsense about, oh, if we can get a good CPI print, then the market's going to move. Bullshit. Look, the Fed going from 75 to 50 basis points is not a pivot, right? Oh, he pivoted. No, he's still raising rates. He's still limiting liquidity. He's still tightening monetary conditions. And the market's calling bullshit, right? The market is pricing in cuts this year. I think they're going to be sorely disappointed because he is back to doing what he thinks is his job, which is short-term interest rates for 200 years have roughly equaled nominal GDP growth.
Bitcoin is currently trading at $23,997, up 1.1 in the last 24 hours, and crucially maintaining its position above the 23,000 resistances that the bulls have been chasing. Investors are waiting for the Federal Open Market Committee's interest rate decision next week, as well as any signals policymakers may give about when they want to stop raising rates. With a price increase of almost 40% since New Year's Eve, 2023 has gotten off to a great start for Bitcoin. During his appearance as a guest on the Crypto Banter podcast, investor Mark Yusko explained why the recent increase in the price of Bitcoin shouldn't come as a surprise. Yusko predicts that the price of Bitcoin will be choppy and mainly flat until June, when the summer season begins. According to Yusko, Bitcoin is the most significant creation of our time and the single most important commodity now available.
Look, I stand by what I said. June 15th was the end of winter, beginning of spring. What I missed was Hurricane Sam. So I live in North Carolina, and every once in a while, about every 10 years, kind of late March, we get a nor'easter that spins off the coast and it dumps a bunch of snow. It's still spring. It's just snowing. And so, look, we had a nor'easter. We had this Hurricane Sam. Bad people do bad things. And, I don't want to go all the way deep into the rabbit hole, but I got one thing to say on that. So Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline were the masterminds of nothing. Okay? They are not the masterminds. This is way bigger and way more evil than we need to talk about today. But and Howard Marks said it best. He said, the problem in this world is you have to decide between the good people who sound good and the bad people who sound good, because the only people who sound bad make presentations. And so, I just got lucky, right? I mean, I never met the guy. We probably would have been lured in by his charm. And I feel for Mooch and everyone who was victimized by this guy. The guy's a bad guy. I think there are way worse people above him. But my point is, yes, we had the dip from 18 down to 15 and then back to 18. We made the perfect cup and handle pattern. But spring, interestingly enough, you think about the 4-year cycle, spring is basically flat. I mean, that is a perfect cup and handle. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. Although somebody labeled it a double D, which is not politically correct, but it does have they made a funny drawing. But the key there is spring
is flat.
Is flat. But there's a lot of volatility. Summer, which I think starts in April, May, usually 9 months ahead of the halving, that's when things are going to get fun. And the reality is, Bitcoin was engineered so perfectly. It's really amazing when you think about it. That's why I'm pretty sure Satoshi's not a single person, because I don't think any one person could be this smart. I mean, just think about the halving. The halving guarantees number go up, because what happens on the halving is you have all the miners that are securing the network, and they have a fixed cost of electricity and space and machines. And suddenly the rewards go down in half. A whole bunch would go bankrupt unless the price goes up. The price going up tends to attract attention. Now, I always joke, it's mostly guys, right? Because we're hunter-gatherers and we see motion. I was a funny thing. So my wife says, get the ketchup out of the refrigerator. And I walk the refrigerator, open the refrigerator door, no ketchup. She walks up, grabs the bottle. If it ain't moving, I can't see it. So it's just real. But once the price starts moving, then you go from the investors who buy assets when they're below fair value, to traders who don't give a shit about value, they just want movement, to speculators, and speculators are just the opposite side of hedgers. So you have miners who have to sell Bitcoin, so speculators come in and take the other side. But then you have the degenerate gamblers, and this is where it gets bad. When people enter a market with leverage, that's what causes the stress, and that's what causes the massive volatility. And so today, the network value of the Bitcoin blockchain is somewhere high 20s, 28, 29. So as an investor, I'm buying because the current price is a liar, by the way. Price is not value. The price is below fair value, so I'm a buyer. And then as we get into crypto summer in April, May, then the traders will push that price above fair value, and I'll still buy dollar cost averaging, as Patrick was saying. Most important thing, don't buy it all at once. You should just, it's funny. I remember being on, and I'll stop talking. I was on CNBC in 2019, and literally while I was on the show, the price went from 10,000 to 8,000. And Melissa Lee, and this was in 6 minutes. It wasn't like in 6 hours. It was in 6 minutes. And Melissa Lee says, "So what should we do?" I said, "Buy it." Here's the thing. I'm not sure. I love Mooch said before, it's the things that we know for certain that just ain't so. That's what kills us. Like when you're sure about something, like doubt is the greatest superpower in the world. If you can stay in a place of doubt and don't think that you know everything, you do much better. But when we're certain of something, and my wife would say that I'm certain of way too much, but I am certain, and I mean this, I am certain of one thing, that blockchain technology is the evolution of computing power that has been going on since the 50s, 54 the mainframe, 68 the microchip, 82 the personal computer, 96 the internet, 2010 the mobile net, 2024, which is next year, y'all, the truth net. And we are going to replace trust with truth. And blockchains are going to run everything. I am certain of that. And the Bitcoin blockchain is the most powerful supercomputer in the world. It is the most powerful computing network in the world by an order of magnitude of 1,500x. It's 1,500 times more powerful than CERN supercomputer. Owning a piece of that network is the most important thing you can do in this world.
Do you agree with Mark's assessment? Will June be the beginning of a bull run? Leave a comment with your ideas below, and we appreciate you tuning in to Market Empire. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.